Hi, and welcome back to Off the Record. I'm your host, Vance Dillon, and we're at Paradise Sound Studio in beautiful downtown Paradise. I'm with Sindy and Dion Schofield, and we brought a tune with us, and we're going to tear it apart. This is a Beat Up Truck by Rick Snyder, and Rick's not here because this is just basically for production, so this is for all the geeks who want to know about how everything is done and how you can make your stuff sound good too. Well, this is a good show to watch. So welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers on the mics. Clink, 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 clink. Yeah, I'll fix that later with the spiking. So let's just start off and have a little listen here, and here's what we're going to talk about.
My beat up truck is on the side of the road. Engine's dead, gonna have to be towed. I'll find my way back into town. My beat up truck's on the side of the road, she's a little run down.
Cool. Nice and smooth. Now, this is a really cool one because usually if I was going to be doing something like this is always after the fact, but you guys are right in the middle of doing this, right?
End stages, but not completed yet.
Yeah. And the other cool thing is that it's a production team. It's one person kind of, doing the button mashing and all that stuff. So it'll be fun to check that out. We'll talk more in detail about that. So how did you guys hook up with Rick?
Well, he put a video up on Facebook of his new song, and we saw it, and I immediately messaged him and said, Rick, you got to record that. And
was that the CBC?
No.
Or was it before that?
That was before that. He had just done it with his guitar and vocals, just a little video he put up on Facebook.
Cool.
I was like, I really like that song. Why don't you try recording it?
Nice. And the ones this year, this is the version that went into the CBC contest?
Yep.
Nice. It sounded cool. And you guys are also playing on it as well?
Yes, a little bit.
So that makes it pretty busy, doesn't it? If you're playing at the I guess it would be playing at the same time. Now, do you guys take turns? Or you're laying down your beds at the same time? Who's in there mashing the buttons around while you guys are playing?
I'm in there mashing the buttons around for both of us.
With the modern technology, she can do it on an iPad. So.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you've got your little remote out there.
Yeah.
Now, what did you use to record all your stuff? You did it all basically live off the floor sort of a thing? How did you do that?
No, track by track. Rick came in with just guitar and vocals and laid down a bed track.
Yeah.
And then we redid his vocals over top of that. And then we started adding instruments.
The building process.
And it was all done to a click track, which
nice.
I know a lot of you hate click tracks, but they're necessary.
Did you print the click track so basically you could kind of see it right there? Or did you just, and that's the best way I think to do it. You have a real nice visual. If you have to do any editing, it's right there.
Yeah.
There's no mistaking, and you don't have to worry about drifting and all that stuff.
Exactly. And it's a challenge working with a click track for just about anybody, but it makes the final product.
It pays off.
Yeah.
It pays off.
Lot
It
better.
sounds nice and tight.
Especially when Dion's doing his job of making sure everything lines up the way it should. And
Yeah.
It's easier.
Yeah.
It makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, cool. So when you did, who played on this? Steve playing drums, Steve Olskamp?
Yep,
Steve
The
Olskamp
famous
on
and legend,
drums.
Valley legend.
Everybody knows Steve.
Everybody knows Steve.
Yeah,
Of
for
course,
sure.
Rick singing main vocals, and then Rob Jameson and I doing harmonies. And I'm playing bass. And Bob Forrester on harp.
Yeah.
And then we had
Who was on slide there? It was...
Len Hannum.
Yeah.
Yeah, wicked slide player.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very cool slide.
Yeah, very
All
cool.
cool musicians.
Yeah, they're very talented
How
people.
long were they in? Did they have a listen? Just kind of come in? Well, they must have probably knew the song a little bit ahead of time.
They had a chance to listen to it, but apparently it wasn't a very long time that they actually had to get ready, and it sounded like they did. They were really prepared for the short amount of time they had.
That's why they're pros, when they can just walk in, sit down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They knew what they were doing.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was pretty quick. One night with each person.
Yeah. Cool.
That's it. One
Now,
evening.
was it just for this track, or did you do it song by song, or how are you doing the actual
Nope,
the
they
actual
all
thing?
they all came in. We did 5 songs at once.
Okay, cool. Doing it in little blocks.
Yeah, well, we'd get the bed tracks for all of them down.
Sorry.
And then, we had Len and Bob come in and do their tracks on everything, and
Yeah.
then we had Steve come in and do his tracks on everything, and of course we get to cheat because we live there,
Yes.
and we do it whenever we want, right?
In my
So-
pajamas, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this is all recorded out of your guys' studio, Scion Studios in West
Dalhousie.
Dalhousie, right?
Yep.
Scion.
Cool, Scion. So you've got now you're recording on the QSC
Yes.
recorder mixer.
Yep.
How's that going? Is that working out?
It works really well. It works really well.
Can you see
So-
your tracks that you've recorded, or is it on your remote, or is it just give you like the faders and the
You
monitoring
can't-
and all that stuff, control for that? I
It
guess
gives
you
you
wouldn't be able to
control.
really see the waveforms and all that stuff.
No,
on
you
that.
can't see any of that. And
On the remote.
that's the one downfall of the QSC is that you can record multiple tracks. You can punch in. You can do everything you can do on any other normal digital recorder.
Yeah.
But you can't go back to a track before on the QSC. So you almost have to have a DAW
Okay.
to be able to load in the previous tracks and discover which track you might want to use.
Right.
Yeah.
A little bit of a pain.
But workaround, you always find workarounds.
Easy
and
workarounds.
and that's the fun of it sometimes.
And she
Yeah.
writes down all everything that's going on, so it isn't like we have to search through them.
Yeah.
We kind of know what we're looking for as soon
Yeah.
as we go in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Nice.
have this book and, track 11. The first one is Dion on acoustic. The second one is so-and-so on harp or Dion's 18th try on acoustic. Just kidding.
18.
No, that's me on the bass. It took 23. But anyway, so I keep copious notes on every recording project.
You gotta have a.
This is the
big
short
pile of
form, but
paper.
really it's
Oh, yeah.
quite messy.
It's pages and
and
pages and
pages.
pages
Yeah.
and pages.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I was saying earlier. I'm gonna have to get all this here stuff because this is all analog, so there's no recall.
Yeah.
So I just have to make some notes, but hopefully it can be real quick.
Yeah. But the QSC does work well for getting the recording levels you need, nice clean tracks.
Yeah,
And
and that'll give you 8. Is it 8?
16.
Oh no, it's actually 16.
16
yeah,
at
that's
a time.
cool. Which
So
is
you
nice.
can do live band
Mm.
easily.
So what did you do for the drum kit? What did you use for microphones and stuff like that?
It was Apex 125 on the bass drum and the Apex drum kit on all the other ones using the bass drum that comes with the kit.
Was it
Of
Steve's
mics.
Yamaha kit or?
No, was mine. It's a, what is it? It's a Yamaha Custom Maple Absolute.
Oh, nice.
It's a really sweet
Yeah,
kit.
very nice kit. Yamaha makes some beautiful sounding kits for live and for recording.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice, cool.
And the Custom Maple is, I guess, thinner shells, so you get a different
Yeah.
resonance that's really nice. So,
Oh, cool, awesome.
Yeah.
So how'd you have that all mic'd up?
A mic on everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Give it to her.
Give it to
Especially
her.
when you've got 16 inputs.
Yeah. Eight
Use
mics.
them.
8 mics
Yeah.
for the drums.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's pretty cool.
3 toms,
That's reasonable.
bass, snare,
Yeah.
hi-hat, 2 overheads. What's the other one? Oh, that's 8. I even used fingers and I couldn't count it.
See, I was counting with my toes. I mean, you can't see that, but I was already at 10, so I'm like, shit.
Oh, oops. Yeah.
Now, what about the space that you guys are using to record in? You've got a separate, smaller room for your
Vocals
control
and-
room and stuff like that,
Yep.
and then you've got another room for the play room.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a jam room, and
Yeah.
that's where the drums are set up, all deadened with material on the walls and stuff. And then there's a sound booth.
Yep.
That's a little 5x7 cute little room that we shove everybody in when we want them totally isolated.
Yep.
And then the little control room that I sit in and nobody gets to see me in it. Works for me.
I'm hiding back there.
They can hear me through headphones and that's it.
Well, let's hear these drums out. So what I'll do, Dion, you're mixing because you're over there, so I'll just sit to play.
Do you want to just
So
leave drums
yeah,
in?
just dump everything but the drums there. There we go.
Nice little country shuffle beat.
Yeah,
Good old Stevie's.
Stevie playing drums.
Yep.
I like the kick sound.
Thank you.
Would you? Oh, that was at Apex.
At Apex 125. But we learned not to put it right in the sound hole. We actually keep it about 4 inches in front of it.
Oh,
sound hole
out
in
from
the
the
drum.
sound hole a little
Out
bit.
from the
Catches
sound
too
hole
much
a
air.
little
And
bit.
it gives you a little bit more. Well, it gives you a little bit more air. It makes it more
Beefy.
poofy sounding and beefier instead of
Yeah.
just really punchy. And you get that upper mid stuff. It starts to roll it down a bit, and
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, we played with where it was and listened to it and played with it and listened to it, and that was the ultimate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I found I had to do that with mine too because the sound hole's slightly smaller, so I found that it's kind of letting a little air out past was making it sound a little bit more softer and poofier and bigger, which I kind of like,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's all about mic placement too, isn't it?
Amazingly.
Yeah, it's cool where you could just take a overhead microphone and just place it somewhere. Just like, oh wow, boom, there it is right there. Especially if you're listening with headphones on.
That's the
Yeah.
sweetest thing. Having
Yeah.
a set of headphones on, you can take that mic and put it in front of a guitar speaker and really hear what's going on. And get a nice sound
exactly.
right at the
Especially
beginning.
if you're checking for phase and you get multiple bikes and around
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So let's keep playing it here and let's bring in the bass. Now this is Sindy playing bass. So did you do this with DI
No,
or
no. Well, through my amp, through the line out, preamp out,
okay? Yeah.
and it's done on a little
Yeah.
Ibanez micro short scale bass, which you
Cool.
wouldn't know listening to it. It's quite the thumpy little thing.
Well, definitely good for space.
This is bass. Bass belongs up there.
Yeah, what's wrong with you, man?
Just kidding.
Yeah. We gotta go to the commercial.
Just kidding.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's just through my trainer amp, preamp out, into the board, dry, and then some magic worked on it on the other end to give it a little.
Yeah.
Didn't have to do much. You
Yeah.
did a good job.
Nice. Cool. Sounds pretty decent. I like
Thanks.
it. Bring those guitars in there a little bit.
You go ahead.
Now you guys split up the duties though, don't you? Like we were saying the other
Very
day.
evenly.
Like yeah, so you do mostly tracking and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and the overdubs and all that.
I'd be, I guess, the recording engineer.
Yeah.
Is if you wanted to name it. And then Dion sits in the little booth with 18 different kinds of speakers wrapped around him doing the mixing. And
Now, do you guys mix as you go, or do you kind of take turns where it's just like, okay, we're recording and now we need to do some mixing, or it could just kind of happen
It
whenever?
kind of just happens. There's
Yeah.
no real pattern yet.
Especially when you have it at home. It's not like you're going in, it's like, okay, we have to go in and we have to this amount of work to do here. But when it's at your home, you're just like, we can interchange, do whenever you want to. Do a
Yeah.
little mixing.
That's more how it goes.
yeah, cool.
now for the actual mixing, like what you're hearing now, it has to be transferred from one unit to the computer.
Yeah.
So that doesn't get done until I do the transfers.
Right.
That doesn't get done until she does it
Yeah.
because I don't know how.
So you just finally just like, I'd like
Let
to
her
do
have
some,
that one."
start to do some mixing on the computer.
And I'm like, okay, and I'll transfer all the stuff over for him to play with.
Nice. So you're using Pro Tools to you're mixing in the box. How are you liking that?
I have nothing to compare it to. So, but I do like it.
Yeah.
Well, I do have something to compare it to. I had a little Boss BR800.
Okay,
thing
those are
with the-
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and I got to play with that for a while, and actually, it's really easy to use. But there's only 2-channel input, so
Yeah.
it's
But it gives you the
It's
idea
limited.
of how it all works.
Get you started.
Yeah, exactly. So that's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool. So yeah, moving on to something like this is pretty.
I like it because it's easier to put in the inserts or whatever, and
And you can have stuff available to you that you could never have in a rack. It's just like wow.
yep.
Yeah.
And I can delete stuff and then get it back. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, especially when you're just kind of starting out, having to go back and fix. I mean, I remember going back and doing hours of work, but not saving, and then having to go like, if I save anything now, it's messed up, or I could just close it and throw away the last couple of hours of work
And start from scratch.
Start from scratch again, right?
Yeah.
Well, this thing
Yeah.
auto saves every 5 minutes now, so it's
Pro Tools auto backs up too.
Yeah.
So I can save some things if things go wrong.
Yeah, I've never found myself too much, except for like a hard drive dying or something like that. You know, I've never found myself not being able to back out of a situation. Now it's like, you guys go for a smoke. I got to fix something. What happened? Nothing at all. It's all great. It's all
there.
gravy. It's all gravy.
Nothing's missing.
So what we're hearing now, all the tracking's pretty much done. Is it for it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is basically ready to mix, right?
Yeah, this is getting pretty close to the end.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Of course, this is a whole different version than what we're hearing on you guys' Pro Tools rig. So at home. So, well, let's see what the guitars sound like here.
What we got?
So this is acoustic, and there's some electric in here. So there's the guitars right there. I'm gonna bring these guys down. So that's Rick playing.
That's me, actually.
Mm.
My country playing abilities. Kind of just to strum through it. I tried to imitate what Rick did when Rick put it on there. He wasn't quite happy with it, and he asked me to try to put something on. I thought, well, I'll give it a shot. So
What you use for a guitar?
Alvarez, it's a cutaway thing. Acoustic guitars.
Yeah, it's Alvarez acoustic.
Oh yeah, what'd you mic that with? That sounds pretty nice.
Oh,
We mic'd that with our Apex.
Oh, okay.
What is it? 460.
460. Nice.
Yeah,
So you got a lot of
cardioid
use out of that
vocal
thing,
mic.
did you? You were
The
saying.
460.
Yeah.
Use it for everything.
Use it for vocals, everything.
It just records so beautifully.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I recorded some electric distorted guitar through
Yeah.
it. And I really like the sound.
Yeah, I mean, if as long as it's
Nice and
not blasting right up against the speaker, you know, to have it a couple feet back, especially to
It's
get a
5
little bit
feet.
of the room. And if
Yeah.
you throw a 57 up front too,
I'm going to try that because
yeah,
I
just
heard you
watch for
talking about that.
phase, right? And
Yeah.
all, but other than that, then you got like, wow, and even to pan them a little bit to give you a nice little stereo.
Can't wait to try that.
And that
Yeah.
particular mic, you can change the pattern.
Yeah, that's
So-
always handy.
We've been playing with the electric guitar amp in the room with the mic, and then changing it to the figure eight or to the full room
Yeah.
or to the cardioid, and
Yeah, nice.
different sounds every time that
Oh,
are
yeah.
useful in different applications. So
Exactly.
it's really cool.
And it's nice to have those options where you can do that. All right, what else do we got here? So this is where are we at? Let's throw in the steel and the harp there, right at the end.
I'm learning.
You getting there?
You watch it. Want some drums back or just?
Let's just listen to the bring the acoustic guitar out. And that's cool because it's panned a little bit, so you got harp a little bit on one side,
A little bit.
and
Try to put everybody in places.
yeah.
So hit the harp guy's just standing a little bit to the right of Rick. The steel guy's just a little to the left of Rick.
Now, when you're doing the drums, do you do it as if you're the drummer, or do you do it as if you're looking at the drummer?
I do it as if I'm the drummer.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, because I try to play, and I like to hear the drums with
Yeah.
the rolls going from right to left.
Yeah.
So when I'm
Left to
mixing,
right.
or left to right. So when I'm mixing, I'll do the same opposite thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did do that at first because, well, I'm a drummer too, so it kind of made sense to me. But then I'm just like, well, if I'm doing it a bit of as a performance, as if you're looking at the band on a stage almost, is how I started to do it, and that's how it's.
But you're leaving it left-handed drummers.
I am left-handed. I'm
Then you should be
I'm
doing it
even
the other way.
left-handed.
So, when I did you, if I ever did your drums, it would sound correct when you're listening to them.
Yeah, as if I was playing them. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Well, that sounds great on the acoustic guitar. I like it, and it sounds neat with the. Who played this? Who played the steel again? It was
Len Hannum.
Len.
Yeah.
I had I'm pretty sure I had at least 60 strings.
Everything's nice and smooth.
There's one lead that they split between electric guitar and steel, and it sounds so cool.
Oh, cool.
The electric's in with the acoustic.
Yeah.
It's not until
You can see it. Just,
It's a little further down, isn't it?
yeah.
it's a
scroll right here if we want. Let's go to
Somewhere around there.
somewhere around there.
I think this only split, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
Or it might be the other one just above, in front of it.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
The last break there.
Oh, I can't.
The old tri-ball's got you.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take over just before them see the guitar.
Yeah. Right about here.
There you go. There's Len. This is the other guy.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Nice.
Because that's sort of all part of it too, is helping people decide how they want their song arranged.
Well,
and
now
what
how
they
much
want
did you
where.
guys have to do with that aside from just coming in to saying, okay, we're going to record all your stuff? How much of a producer type role did you guys play as far as did you help out with arrangements like you're saying?
Quite a bit.
And yeah, just to
Yeah.
kind of get it. And
Rick-
that's
Yeah.
Rick had most of them almost like they're almost put together. We didn't help a whole lot with a lot of the arrangement, I guess, but
But some of it, it'd be we
little bit,
discuss
a little
should
bit.
there be this many breaks and
yeah.
where should they be? Should they be shorter or longer? What instruments should fill that break?
Yep.
That's the kind of stuff
little
that,
things like that.
that we kind of discussed. And,
Cool.
And then we'd get it all together and then let Rick listen to it and let him have the final decision of if he liked the decision we made as a group. He gets final say.
Yeah, exactly. And you guys, we were saying
No,
we were
don't like
saying the
that.
other day about as far as like mixing and stuff like that too. It's the same way where you guys kind of go off and do the mixing yourself,
Yeah.
and then bring it back to Rick, and he sits down and has a listen to it and
Yeah.
does the old stamp or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do it like
More
this,
bass.
do it like that.
Or it gives us notes,
yeah,
you could say.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And, any artist who's recording knows what they want to hear for their song.
Mm.
So you have to listen.
So when is this going to be finished? Do you think? How many songs are you into it now?
Well,
We're starting on our 6th.
we didn't think there was going to be 6, but he came over one night and he played another one for us, and we liked that one too, of course. So
Yeah.
so now that one's there
Can't
too.
stop.
So can't
But the-
stop.
So is it
Can't
going to
stop.
be the EP, like 6-song EP sort of a thing?
First one's going to be
At
5.
least.
5, yeah.
And then we're going to add 5 more and make it a full CD.
Okay, cool.
But we're going to start with a 5-song release. There's a couple places Rick wants to send it to, and that's all they required. So it's a
And s-
start, gets him out
And
there
stuff like
quicker.
this has been out a little while anyway too, so it's
Yeah.
okay to
Rough mixes have been out.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so close to being done now. We're getting excited.
Yeah, nice. How long does it take you to get everything kind of finalized when you sit down and go, okay, it's gonna, this is all finally done.
We'll know. We'll let you know when we get there.
There's never a final. I find a lot of people are doing this, especially now with computers. You don't sit down and go, okay, we're gonna mix this, and it's gonna be it's done. That's how it is.
Yeah. It's too easy to change it now.
It's too easy to change it, and even to go back, and even when stuff has been sent on and it's down a couple of
Yeah.
stages
Yeah.
down the road, you can still go, oh shit, and pluck, and then replace it with, just like, okay, here's everybody's the new copy of this.
Happened to us with this exact song.
Email
Heard
it.
it on a different system, and
Yeah.
there's a couple things we need to tweak.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
sounds great.
Yeah.
I love the sound of it. So,
Well, we haven't heard Rick yet.
Oh, well, let's bring him up.
Where is it? There he is.
Right in the middle of a solo. Let's just hear Rick. I love Rick's voice.
Yeah,
He's coming.
smooth.
He's got such a smooth voice.
Yeah.
Oh, here it comes. Here it comes.
On days like this, I should have stayed in bed. I'm paying the price
5%
for the
reverb
life I've
instead of
led.
30.
I realize ain't a joke.
Sound way better after.
Sit here going over the words she
And
spoke.
the harmonies come in here.
Said you better change your ways, boy, if you ever want me back. Locks on all doors, been changing, clothes are damn near packed. You never fix that faucet and the lawn still ain't mowed. Guess I'll sleep in my beat up truck on the side of the road.
Cool.
The girl harmonies in that were actually a last minute thought of someone should be in there being the woman saying that to him.
And that's you, isn't it?
Screaming at the porch door.
Yeah, it sounds like that. It's cool.
Yeah.
I love how old school it sounds. That's what I always really liked about Rick's stuff too. He's really true to the genre. Like it's not new country type stuff. It's
That's-
No,
yeah.
stuff that
it's-
we all sort of kind of grew up with.
Yeah.
It's not trying to be something else.
No,
It
yeah,
is what
no
it is,
gimmicks,
yeah.
no. Although he could probably use a little bit of a costume or something like that, like a big cape or something like that
That'd be cool.
on
Yeah.
stage.
Big
Other
thing.
than that,
Yeah.
don't ever change.
I can't wait till he watches this and hears that one.
If he comes at me with a cape, I'm gonna let him. I mean, what do you do? But it's really cool stuff, and it's really good quality stuff to work on and to practice with too. It's it's nice to have those gigs that come along. You're like, oh, this is gonna sound great because they sound great, and
Yeah.
they're good tunes.
Yeah.
And it's cool that you guys get to play them. You keep really busy with some stuff like that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Busier than we thought we'd be.
Yeah, and you can
Yeah.
offer everything in house now.
Yeah.
Instant band.
Instant band.
Instant band.
Yeah.
Well, let's bring up a little mix here and see what it sounds like all together.
Starting from where we're at.
Well, if you want, you can, roll back on the old, right around there.
I just kind of level them up a little bit until things get going.
Give her some drums, lots of
My
drums.
beat up truck on the side of the road. Engine's dead, gonna have to be towed. I'll find my way back in town. My beat up truck on the side of the road, just a little run down.
I love how smooth the harp is. It's not just really, every note is just kind of crafted in.
He's a fabulous player.
I called her up on telephone. Didn't like what I had to say, said watch your tone. Said you better change your ways, boy, if you ever want me back.
Got that June Carter thing happening with the vocal. I love it.
June Carter. That's a new one.
Guess I'll sleep in the beat up truck on the side of the road.
When you have enthusiastic people that are good at what they do,
Yeah.
it makes it really easy to do our end of it.
I really like his slide playing. He's
Yeah.
such a cool slide player.
And these guys must get a kick out of hearing themselves recorded and mixed like this. Like, wow. Because, I mean, not a lot of people are really doing a lot of recording, lots of live stuff.
Yeah. I'm not sure if Len and them heard it yet, have they?
I
Oh, they
don't know.
must have on. Yeah,
Oh.
they would have heard it
Oh,
on,
Yeah,
Online.
YouTube,
yeah,
right?
probably, yeah.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
But not the final one.
Yeah, it has changed subtly from the YouTube. In the YouTube one, that middle solo was all one.
Something was different. We split them
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, so it has even changed from that video.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's good to have
Wow.
at least 30 different versions out, right?
Oh,
For
yeah.
collector's sake.
And don't you hate it when you're just like, after it's all said and done, 2 years later, you find a copy of it and you're just like, wow, that was like 6 months before we actually mixed it. It sounds fantastic. Why did
Should've
I
left
use-
it alone.
Yeah. you should-
We
Yeah,
had
I like
that
that
little
lead.
talk the other night, actually. Rick was up and we were going through some of the songs and make just last minute tweaks and all three of us were like, someday we have to stop doing this. We have to say it's done.
You get
Wow.
withdrawal after everybody takes off because they're used to seeing everybody, show up a couple of nights a week to work on stuff,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden it's done.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm gonna-
Where did everybody
gonna-
go?
Well, we have at least 4 more songs with Rick, so we're not
Yeah.
we're not going to have withdrawal yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. That's
Yeah.
neat. So for EQ and things like that, do you prefer to do extra? Do you have any favorite plugins, or do you use the native Pro Tools ones?
I keep it simple. Actually, she downloaded one chorus plugin that I played with a little bit.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's whatever was on Pro Tools at the time.
And that one EQ,
And the one EQ,
the
actually.
visual.
Okay.
EQ.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
show you the spectrum of.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Spectrum
What do you
EQ.
want?
That's what it's
Yeah.
called.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Those
Which
are
I use a
handy to
little bit,
have.
yeah.
Yep. And it helps you kind of learn about how it's like, being able to look at what you're hearing.
Yeah.
I thought, especially when these things came out and you could see waveforms, you're like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
There's the kick drum.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
I use a little bit of reverb.
Did you guys use any, as you were recording, did you do much stuff to anything as it was recording, or did you just throw it down, right down to,
The
down
only
to the
thing
QSC? And
The only thing that had anything on it as it was recorded was the electric guitar. Everything else was recorded dry and then
Dry as you can get it.
massaged in Pro Tools.
Yeah, nice. What did you use for microphones on the guitars?
The Apex 460
Nice.
on the acoustic.
Yep.
On your electric for that one, it was just the
Shure
57.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah.
Always a classic for
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. 'cause
And-
you can pound it.
57 on the steel
Nice
guitar
little
too,
Okay.
because he brought his
Nice.
amp and we mic'd the amp.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice round sound on that. What about the did you use the
Harp?
Apex on the harp?
No, SM58 Beta,
Too? Okay, beta
because he
58.
wanted the rap,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
He was
okay.
a rapper on the
Oh,
mic. and-
okay,
yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You wouldn't even know it hearing
no,
it.
No,
Yeah.
he is
So
really
smooth.
nice sounding.
Wicked
Yeah,
player.
so smooth.
Yeah.
That's cool. Let's hear that freaking.
Yeah.
Harp again?
Yeah.
Where are we
He's
in
more
there?
right than
Oh, we're at the beginning, so you can put it wherever.
He's
He
pretty
starts
much
out-
all the way through.
Yeah.
left. He has.
Such control.
Yeah.
Such a great player.
He really filled out the song. He gave a lot of
And he did.
melodic
Really
fill to the song.
complements the steel too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. In his voice.
You can hear
actually.
you can hear them. Yeah, you can hear them playing around.
Back. Locks on all doors, been changed, your clothes damn near packed. You never fix that faucet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they're dancing with each other.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Who else is singing on this? It's
Rob Jameson.
Okay, so it's the three of you guys singing.
Yeah.
Bring that up again, would you?
Rob
Dion?
did the,
or just the vocals
vocals.
there if you can. There we go.
Just stayed in bed. And paying the
coming up right
price.
Yeah, Rob did like a middle harmony, and then I did an octave above
Yeah.
Rick as the screechy wife.
That's
Girlfriend.
crazy. It'll be cool to hear that on its own.
No, it's not. Believe me, it needs to be mixed in.
Take the bed, change your ways, boy, if you ever want me back. Locks on all doors, been changing clothes damn near packed. You never fix that faucet and the lawn still ain't mowed. Guess I'll sleep
There, I
in
can
my
hear you a
beat
little
up
bit.
truck on the side of
A
the
little bit
road.
more.
She's in the right. Just kind of off.
You can hear the headphone. Now,
the
do
porch
you
door.
do you leave that stuff in normally, or do you chop it out before you go to do the final mix? Like stuff like this, where you can hear a little bit of bleed in the headphones.
I'll chop all that in
Yeah,
between.
yeah, same with me. Always
Yeah,
just
Take the bed,
clean it up.
change your ways, boy,
Yeah.
if you ever
All
want
them
me
little
back.
spots.
Nice and
Locks
clean
on all doors,
vocals, eh?
been changing clothes damn near packed. You never fix that faucet and the lawn still ain't mowed.
What is that one? Oh, that's his
Guess
voice.
I'll sleep in my beat up truck on the side of the road.
Yeah, there's a little.
Wow, I didn't race them out yet.
Yeah, I sleep in my beat up
Slacking.
truck on the side of the road.
Nice. Well, it is a work in progress. so
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
What you're hearing now may not be the same. Well, guaranteed
will
it
not
probably
be
won't
the
be the same.
Yep. It's coming along really well though.
Nice.
We're really happy with it.
Nice.
Yeah. And believe me, if we weren't, it wouldn't ever see the light of day.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? So, how do you like the workflow for getting stuff now? How do you export it from out of the QSC?
The
into-
QSC records onto
How
a
much?
travel
How
drive.
much of the stuff do you put on the QSC? When's the point where you're like, okay, now we're going to put everything up in Pro Tools and continue working on it in there?
For go ahead.
It's when we kind of have when it's coming out of the QSC, because we route that out through the amp, and we can listen to that. I can kind of semi EQ it onto that. When I think it's something I can work with, then we'll throw it all over.
Okay.
But we have thrown like 1 or 2 tracks over, and then later thrown another track, and then later thrown another track.
Yeah.
And
What
build
are you
the song
using
slow.
for your interface for Pro Tools?
Interface, how?
Is it the like your IO for getting into Pro Tools?
Oh, it's a well, from the QSC to Pro Tools, we actually record it onto a travel drive on the
Yeah.
QSC and import it into the computer and then import it into Pro Tools. For play out from Pro Tools, you have to have the
Is it like the O2
Pro Audio
or O3 or something
sound
like
card.
that?
Yeah, $300 sound card. That's the only thing that it'll work with, which
Yeah.
is the issue with Pro Tools.
Beauty of Pro Tools.
Yeah, proprietary hardware that has to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we do actually have a little unit that, when I get it hooked up, we can record 4 tracks directly into Pro Tools. So if we have to just do
Couple of
a
dubs.
couple of
Punch
dubs
in.
or something, we can do it that way
Cool.
instead of having to go the long route.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
punch-ins are ridiculous with the QSC, because it puts them all at the end or
Oh,
at the beginning
yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, and
so
you
you
have
have to
to
actually
line-
move it and put it
right.
in place.
Yeah.
Which isn't a big deal,
Yeah.
but
You do a
Makes it
punch in on the
tricky.
QSC, you write down the time stamp that you hit record so that it's easier to line it up later.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you get your editing skills down in Pro Tools. That's the
Yeah.
that's the beauty of it.
He's the editing king of the duo.
Yeah.
I just give him the cards to deal out, and he makes the hands. I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then at the other end, after the mix is done, I kind of step back in and do the stereo wave file, and then
Pushes
do the
me out of the way.
mastering on that.
Yeah. And it's cool that you guys can kind of give each other ear breaks and
Yeah.
advice and suggestions and stuff like that. It's not all just up to one person.
You know, the amazing part about that is we actually take the suggestions. Nobody gets offended.
Well, that's what makes
it's
for
really
successful
cool.
engineers. You
Yeah.
know, if when you're able to,
And
that's
we're
how you
both
learn.
stubborn people. I don't
Well, yeah.
like.
You know, you can't sit back and go, well,
How's
that's
that?
not the way you do it. It's just like, well, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta respect
Where's
each
that
other's
in the rule
opinions.
book?
Actually, we've learned a lot of things by being open-minded about how you can do things.
And coming up upon new instruments, too, is always fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff that you would never think of, you know.
The violin was the biggest first one for me, because I thought, how are we going to record this thing?
I
The
gotta
pickup
say,
on it wasn't really. I mean, they're okay, but
Yeah.
it's not as good as
thank
the
God for
460.
Google. Thank
and
God for
and
Google
YouTube.
and
YouTube.
YouTube
Google.
Yeah.
And-
Shows like
tutorials.
this.
and
shows like
other
this.
Yeah.
other sound people that we know that we can pick their brains.
Yeah.
You know, we'll take information from anywhere to make a recording sound good.
Every time I watch stuff like that, I'm always picking up new stuff.
Yeah.
Just like,
Yeah.
And we try things randomly too, like
Yeah.
miking the snare from the bottom instead of the top.
Yeah.
What a
like, what's
cool
it,
sound.
What's it going to hurt?
It's
you
just
know?
such
Yeah.
a cool sound.
Somebody going to lose an eye?
Yeah.
Well, maybe if you're down there
I-
miking it.
yeah.
And somebody's playing it from the top. Ah, shit.
That is possible.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Steve was pretty good, though. He wouldn't hit anybody in the
Yeah.
eye, I don't think.
Yeah, but if I'm
Not
miking it
intentionally.
and he's playing it, that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
So is it going to be all the same musicians on all the songs,
No.
pretty much? Or is it
Whoever he kind of
everybody
Thinks should be on it.
So on the other tunes, there's different players on it, and
yeah, there's people that weren't on this one and are on it, kind of thing, and then and vice like some of these guys are like Len. He's on a lot of them, but not
Yeah.
quite all of them.
Not quite all of them.
Yeah.
The newer songs, he's got a couple of new people he wants to bring in for guitar and stuff, which is cool. I don't know their names yet, but they'll be showing up in the studio at some point.
Yep, nice.
That's part of the joy of the studio too, is we're getting to meet a lot of musicians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great way to connect up with.
Yeah.
And well, it's kind of like why I'm doing this too, is
Yeah.
to get to learn something new. Everybody learns something. Everybody kind of reconnects,
Yeah.
help each other out.
Yeah.
Makes for a great community when you're able to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and the music community here is really open and, easy
Super
to get
cool.
along with.
Yeah.
There's got some awesome
We're
musicians
lucky,
locally.
yeah. We're lucky. We got some super players around.
Yeah.
Just like, I remember I was really
Kids.
surprised with really kind of got me started to really think about all this stuff was with the CBC thing. I'm like, wow, everybody's kind of coming out of the woods with a recording.
Yeah.
And they're cool tunes and they sound great, like great work, right? And just
Yeah.
like, How's he for doing? How's Rick for doing vocals? Is he fairly quick, or do you do a lot of overdubs, or you just do a couple of takes? How do you do the?
He's
vocals?
so consistent.
Yeah.
Consistent, quick.
So you don't need to do like 3 or 4
No.
takes.
No.
1 or 2 probably. Eh?
You know, 1 or 2. One song we did 3 on, and that was the one that was a real challenge. This song, first take. Like,
Wow.
it was just
That's it
right,
right
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the first take that you listened to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, eh?
He's a very solid singer.
Yeah,
very,
super solid.
Yeah, easy to work with.
Nice.
Takes direction well, too.
Oh yeah, that always helps.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's a pretty humble guy.
Rick,
He is.
move closer to the mic. Okay.
Not this. Well, when I'm live, I always sing like this.
Yeah, no, very, very
That's
good that
cool.
way.
Yeah, that always helps. Yeah, that always helps. So he probably, he could probably do a whole record and sing it in one night.
No
I-
doubt.
If you
I
wanted
bet
to.
you he could.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like effortless to him.
Yeah,
to
he just
sing that
sings.
smooth voice.
He just sings.
Yeah, just sings. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you do for monitors when people are out there? So the headphones, headphone
Headphones.
mixes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you don't want the bleed through.
Yeah.
So it's the only
Yeah.
alternative we've found so far.
Did you guys ever consider doing the PA route, where you'd actually have the PA in the room?
It is hooked up.
I've been asked that a few times.
They can have that if they want that.
I can't do it though. I just something in me. I'm just like, the bleed. I don't want.
Yeah.
Just want to have control over it later on.
Yeah. Yeah. If you do it that way, you lose a lot of control over what's coming out. You can't make it go away. So yeah.
Yeah.
Unless, well, we can take. We have got the amp in one room with the PA. So if you're in that room and you have that amp and you can play guitar and everybody can play drums, and we put the other speaker cabinet into the singing room
Oh, okay.
and
Yeah.
record it. So it's pretty clean that way.
Yeah. So that's nice.
Yeah.
I like being able to hear that, so that you're not in the same room with it, because it's like I want to hear what it sounds like, almost kind of somewhat mixed. It's coming
Yeah.
back and stuff like that. So you get your levels, throw a little bit of EQ on it and stuff like that, just to kind of get it happen. It helps you make decisions a lot quicker than just going, oh, geez.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All about separation.
Yeah. Well, that's the nice thing about the headphone route, and you can have whatever mix you want in your headphones. So if you are a singer that needs to hear yourself really well,
Yeah.
we can do that.
Yeah, exactly.
That helps a lot.
That's a big secret. If you don't have a good headphone mix,
Yeah.
uh,
Struggling to hear yourself or hearing
Yeah.
yourself too much and
Yeah.
trying to cut back.
it
And
could throw you right off.
Yeah.
It could
Yeah.
throw you right off. It's
Yeah.
like when you're playing live. It's the same thing. If you don't have a good mix on stage,
Been there, done that.
you're not
Yeah.
quite.
My
it's
yodeling-
not quite right. Yeah, just like
My
I don't
key.
even really hear myself.
Yeah.
Instead of having to wait till later. I mean, luckily here you can play stuff back and hear it. But with the live, we're just like, how was that? I didn't hear a damn
Yeah.
thing.
Is no fun when that happens.
yeah,
Yeah,
and it
that's
does.
no fun. Yeah, the importance of headphone mixes. That's always cool. So, how do you guys got your? What's the size of the playroom that you got? What's the treatment you got on there? You get it all soundproofed up,
Not soundproofed, sound baffled.
sound baffled.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a lot of tapestries and drapey things from the ceiling
Yep.
and stuff like that. It's about 20 feet wide by 15 feet long, or the other way, 20 feet long by 15 feet wide, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
It's half of the upstairs of our house.
Cool.
Is the main room,
Yeah,
and the other half is the sound booth and the control room.
yeah, nice.
So, and stairs are in the way, so that's why they're not as big.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so far, no one has minded our mascot that's in the recording room half the time with us when people are playing, our dog Jeter. He just comes up and lays down and listens, and nobody's minded that, so that's good.
He's not on any of Rick's stuff yet, so that's
You
good.
might have to put him down as the executive producer.
Or at least
Good idea.
bark
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Bark by Jeter.
Yeah,
There would be BU vocals and then BU vocals again. Like, no, just bark up. What? Bark up vocals.
harmonizing.
Yeah.
Bark up. I
Mixing.
like that.
Or you could just take a little sample of it, mix it in with the snare. It's like what they used to do with the 80s sound with the white noise.
That's a good idea.
It's got some real growl on that snare. Like, really, I mean it.
Real growl.
Everybody try that.
Put
Put all your favorite animal
cat
sounds,
meows.
just hide them in the album, people's records.
Yeah.
It's like, what's with that kick drum? It's like, oh, it's the cat walking across the floor. Yeah, it's the cat playing the drum kit. It's like, really? Ish.
The main room is not set up so different from what you have here. You know, drums in the middle where
Yeah.
they should be.
Yeah.
And, you know, a bank of guitar amps
Well,
on
I
one
see it.
side and a
we're,
bank of
we're,
bass
We're
amps
missing the
and-
control room here. Is the
Yeah.
only thing. Which I don't know if I miss it or not. It's nice having the open concept thing.
Yeah, I like the looks of the open concept.
Which is, it's cool. This is the first time I've ever done it. I've always made sure that there was no matter how small, I had to be away from all that fucking racket in there.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's the thing I like about the control room, especially if you're doing like live off the floor. I can close my door and put my headphones on, and I'm not hearing anything of what they're doing.
It has a
Exactly.
sliding
I'm hearing
window,
the
so you can.
exact mix.
And you can hear you could do critical listening.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, there's a buzz in here that I didn't hear.
But if you're
Yeah.
live on the floor, there's so much noise that I find it hard to do that.
Yeah, there's a little bit of guesswork going on as you're now with stuff like here with I'll always do the drums like the night before and stuff
Yeah.
like that before a session or whatever like that. So when the band comes in, it's already ready to go and everything's just let's go, everything's line checked and stuff. But yeah, kind of miss bringing it up and then everything sounds like it should or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so you don't have any surprises on the way there.
We never did have a chance to hear this song, Rick's song, live off the floor like that. We actually heard the song first done in pieces. It in some ways it would have been nice to hear it done as a band and then recorded it. But it wasn't an option with this one.
It was when you first heard it was just Rick and
Rick
his
and his
guitar.
acoustic.
Rick and a guitar.
And
Yeah.
Cool.
it built from there, from his vision, really. And we
Yeah.
had no idea where it was going to go in the
So
end.
he's arranging for all the musicians to come in and all
Yeah.
that stuff. So he just tells you like, "Oh, I got this guy. He's wants to come in and do a
Steel
track
guitar
on
or
it."
new harp or,
Yeah, awesome.
yeah.
Wash tub.
Wash tub.
Let's do it.
Shaker, yeah. So it's different because anything I've recorded before, I've actually gotten to hear played and then recorded it track by track.
Yeah.
But to not know where that endpoint's going to be is a bit of a different concept, and it's kind of fun because
Surprise!
Yeah.
The possibilities
song at the end.
are endless.
Yeah, you don't have a preconceived notion at all. It's and this was the first time I had a chance to do it that way,
Mm-hmm.
which was really cool.
It's a good way to test yourself.
Yeah.
Just like you just get thrown this. Just like here's this person, this whole different instrument I haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Here's the mics that I got. Well, here's what it's going to sound like.
Yep.
And off
Yeah.
you go, and then you turn around and you're like, wow, it sounded great.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, we like it when someone like you says that.
Oh,
At this point, we've heard it so many times. We sometimes don't know what it sounds like at all.
Do you guys take a good amount of ear breaks and all that stuff? Like
Oh,
how
yeah.
often? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys pretty much working on stuff like this every day? So
Yeah.
I won't do it for over half an hour before I'll just get up and go for a walk, get
Yeah.
a drink or whatever, kind of,
And we
and
take
then go back at it again.
we take whole days off sometimes, and then go
Just get
back
away
and
from
listen
ear
to it
break.
and go, wow.
ear breaks.
Yeah.
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 You know, there was one song we didn't look at for a couple weeks because we were doing other songs in between, and we had everything on it, but it wasn't completely mixed.
Very neglected.
One of Rick's songs, and a couple of weeks later, we fired it up and went, oh,
Yeah.
wow,
That sounds completely different
yeah,
now.
and it's really good.
Oh, the drinking plan.
Drinking Plan,
Yeah.
yeah. There was
Nice.
it just we took a total break from that song to work on other ones, and when we went back to it, it was fresh ears and a couple things we heard.
That's why you
Yeah.
should never mix on the same day that you're tracking and all that crazy stuff. Like
Yeah.
people wanting to come in and do a 10 or 12-hour session. It's just like, well,
Ear fatigue.
possibly, but we have to have some breaks.
Yeah.
And there's no way that I'm going to actually mix the same day after, like maybe doing 6 hours of vocals or guitars or something
Yeah.
like that, right?
I can't see us managing to get a song finished within the shortest amount of time would be a week from the day it was recorded.
For one song,
For
start
one
to finish?
song, start to finish. We're still slow. We'll get faster, but right now
Well, you don't have to, which is the cool thing.
we need those.
You can take things
breaks.
at your own pace.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right? If you
well,
want to
Yep.
take a break from it, you can.
Yeah.
It's nice to have that
And-
luxury.
Yeah, I'm not saying a week is solid work. I'm saying a week because you need
Yeah.
to step away from it
Yeah.
Yeah.
and go back.
Go
So-
outside during the day and, oh, look,
Yeah.
the sun is still working.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's good to have
Pat
breaks.
the kitties.
Yeah.
Well, luckily our sound booth has a big window in it that we cover over when we're recording for
Yeah.
sound purposes, but you can open it up and the sun shines right in that window.
Oh, nice.
It's beautiful.
Cool. And you mix it right in there, too?
No,
That's
the
the-
mixing room has nothing.
Yeah.
You're in a little
It has
closet.
a window that opens up so you can holler at the drum player or
Yeah.
bass player who happens to be out
Yeah.
there.
I never holler. I have a little mic in there that just
Yeah.
goes to their headphones. It's
My
like,
old realistic.
hey, smarten
My
up.
realistic-
I know.
Sure.
I had it all set up here, too, for talk back. And then I just realized, I just turned around and go, dude, hey.
You
Turn
really
it-
want them to hear you, though. You should
Yeah, turn it
hook
on.
it to the PA. Hey!
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming in, guys. This has been pretty cool. It'll be interesting to see how things are going to sound when it's completely all mixed. It's going to be like bigger, badder. It's going to throw some junky death metal guitars in there at the last minute.
Absolutely. Oh.
Yeah. I want
Yeah.
some of that really deep roaring sound.
Death metal
Like that,
guitars
like,
and
just
Sid Vicious
harmony.
screeching.
Just beat his, just
Just
pitch
behind
his
Rick's
vocals
smooth
down.
voice.
Just turn his vocals, pitch it right down. Just where it goes, just clicking. Oh. There's that truck. Goddamn truck. Where did that go? Well, let's do a little mix. Why don't you bring us out here? I'll hit the old play button and you can bring us up a mix of what you think it sounds like.
What we hope it'll sound like.
What you want it to sound like. There you go.
Heard all the
I think you
things.
got one more fader at the end
Oh,
there. There we go.
About an hour late. Girlfriend's gone. Just couldn't wait. So I called her up on telephone. Didn't like what I had to say. Said, watch your tone. Said, you better change your ways, boy, if you ever want me back. Locks on all doors, been changing plugs damn near back. You never fix that faucet and the lawn still ain't blowed. Guess I sleep in the beat up truck on the side of the road.